Picture this. You walk into work one morning and something feels off. Your coworkers are whispering. They stop talking when you approach. Someone gives you that sympathetic head tilt, you know the one, and your stomach drops because you realize they know something about you that you don't even know yet. If you've ever experienced that gut-wrenching moment, drop a comment right now, because today's story, it could have happened to any of us. This is about Emily Chen. 6 years at her company, stellar performance reviews, a promotion practically promised to her. But there was one thing Emily didn't account for. The person sitting right next to her, smiling to her face every single day, was quietly destroying her career behind her back. And it started with a whisker. See, in every office there's an invisible network, more powerful than any org chart. It's the break room conversations, the Slack DMs, the quick sync meetings that somehow determine who rises and who falls. Emily was about to learn that in corporate America, it doesn't always matter how good you are at your job. Sometimes it only matters who's whispering about you when you're not in the room. So before we dive in, ask yourself, do you really know what your coworkers are saying about you right now? Let me tell you what happened when Emily found out. It was a Tuesday morning when Emily first felt it. You know that feeling, when your workplace anxiety radar starts pinging, but you can't quite put your finger on why. She'd been with Tech Vision Marketing for 6 years. 6 years of staying late, being the person everyone could count on. And her boss, Director Sarah Mitchell, had been dropping hints for months. "Just keep doing what you're doing, Emily," Sarah had told her 3 weeks earlier, hand on her shoulder. "There may be some real leadership opportunities opening up. Big things are coming." Those words had kept her going through every late night, every missed dinner, because it would all be worth it, right? But that Tuesday morning at 10:17 a.m., yes, she'd remember the exact time, her colleague Marcus appeared at her cubicle with that face. The, "Oh, you're going to want to sit down for this" face. "Hey," he said, voice low, "did you hear?" Emily's fingers paused over her keyboard. That question, those 2 words never lead anywhere good. "What did you hear?" "Sarah's meeting this morning. Word is they're bringing in someone new for the senior director position." Time stopped. "What senior director position?" Emily asked slowly. Marcus's face changed, that awful transition from gossip excitement to, "Oh no, I thought you knew." "Oh, you didn't know?" His eyes went wide. "The position Sarah's been preparing you for? They're hiring externally." Hiring externally? The promotion Emily had restructured her entire life around, the one she'd told her family was definitely happening, was being given to a stranger? "Who told you this?" "Rachel in HR. She overheard Sarah on the phone discussing the job posting." Marcus shifted uncomfortably. "But hey, maybe it's nothing. You know how office rumors are, right?" But his eyes said he believed every word. By the end of the day, Emily would learn something crucial. Office whispers spread like wildfire because deep down, we all suspect the worst is true. But what Emily didn't know is that the rumor wasn't even the real problem. By lunch, the entire floor knew. Emily sat in the break room, watching her colleagues whisper and glance her way. Jessica from sales approached with her Tupperware of sad-looking salad. "Emily, I just wanted to say, if you need to talk, I'm here." "Talk about what?" Emily asked, though she knew exactly what. "The promotion. Brad from accounting saw the LinkedIn posting this morning. Senior Director of Marketing Strategy. Same responsibilities you've been doing." Emily pulled out her phone. There it was, posted 6 hours ago. But here's where the whispers got dangerous. By 2 p.m., the story had morphed. Now people were saying Emily had been passed over because of a failed campaign. By 4 p.m., someone said she'd had a conflict with Sarah. By 5 p.m., the rumor was that Emily had been interviewing with competitors and Tech Vision was replacing her before she could leave. None of it was true, but that didn't matter. When Emily finally confronted Sarah at 4:30, her director looked genuinely confused. "Emily, what are you talking about? What promotion?" "The senior director role, the leadership opportunity you mentioned." Sarah's expression shifted. understanding, then guilt. Emily, I said we'd discuss opportunities. That's not a promise. I'm recommending you for a lateral move to the digital team. It's a great opportunity. A lateral move? Not a promotion? Not what Emily had sacrificed everything for? But the damage was already done. The whispers had spread. Her reputation was tarnished, and Emily still had no idea who had started it all. She was about to find out, and it would be someone she never suspected. Here's what Emily didn't know. The whispers had started 3 weeks ago, but not from HR. They'd started from someone much closer. Rebecca Torres, Emily's supposed work best friend, the person she'd mentored for 2 years, the person she'd recommended a raise just 6 months ago. Now, before you completely hate Rebecca, you need to understand something. Rebecca was drowning. Student loans from her MBA, a mortgage she could barely afford, and the constant fear that she'd plateau as a mid-level manager forever while watching people like Emily get all the opportunities. When Rebecca overheard Sarah mention leadership opportunities at that coffee meeting, something shifted in her. Desperation makes people do things they never thought they would. So, Rebecca started her quiet campaign, having coffee with Sarah, volunteering for high-visibility projects, and most cunningly, planting seeds of doubt about Emily. "Emily seems burned out lately, doesn't she?" Rebecca mentioned to Sarah during a casual check-in. "I worry Emily might not be ready for the executive level. She's brilliant tactically, but strategy?" Rebecca suggested to the VP during an elevator ride. "Did you know Emily's been interviewing with competitors?" Rebecca whispered to Marcus, knowing he couldn't keep a secret if his life depended on it. None of these were direct accusations, just observations, concerns, the kind of things a caring colleague might notice. But they worked. The truth came out in the worst way possible. On Friday afternoon, the new senior director was announced at the company all-hands meeting. It was Rebecca. Emily sat in the conference room, her face frozen in professional composure, while her former friend smiled and thanked everyone for their support. After the meeting, Rebecca approached Emily's desk. "I hope there are no hard feelings," Rebecca said, her voice dripping with false sincerity. "I've learned so much from you." Emily wanted to scream, to throw her coffee mug, to expose every manipulative thing Rebecca had done. Instead, she smiled. "Congratulations, Rebecca. You certainly earned it." Rebecca left, satisfied. She'd won. Or so she thought. What Rebecca didn't realize is that success built on lies has a very short lifespan. Emily went home that night and did something she hadn't done in years. She updated her resume. Not because she was giving up, but because she finally saw clearly. Tech Vision wasn't her future. It was a place where whispers mattered more than work, where politics trumped performance. But Emily had one advantage Rebecca didn't count on. Emily actually knew how to do the job. Over the next 3 months, Rebecca struggled. The campaigns Emily had managed fell apart. Clients complained. The team resented Rebecca's micromanagement. Meanwhile, Emily had quietly accepted a position at Tech Vision's biggest competitor as vice president of marketing. When the news broke, the office whispers started again. "Did you hear about Emily? She's making $50K more than Rebecca now. Apparently, she's already poached 3 of our biggest clients. I heard Rebecca's on thin ice." Rebecca tried to reach out. A LinkedIn message. "Would love to catch up over coffee." Emily left it on red. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. 6 months later, Rebecca was let go. The official reason was restructuring, but everyone knew the truth. She'd been promoted beyond her competence, and the whispers that built her up had torn her down. "Did you hear Rebecca is looking for work? Such a shame. She had so much potential. I always thought there was something off about how she got that promotion." The same people who'd whispered Emily out were now whispering Rebecca in, because that's what office whispers do. They destroy indiscriminately. So, let me ask you something. How many times have you been Emily, working your heart out, believing loyalty would be enough? How many times have you been betrayed by someone you trusted, someone you mentored, helped, lifted up, only to watch them use your kindness as a ladder? And honestly, how many times have you been the person whispering? Here's what Emily's story teaches us. First, your work should speak for itself, but it won't if you're not in the room. Emily assumed performance was enough. It wasn't. If you're not managing your own narrative, someone else will. Second, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Rebecca showed subtle signs, the undermining comments disguised as concern, the strategic moves. Emily missed them because she wanted to believe in the friendship. Third, sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's building a life so successful that the people who wronged you become irrelevant. Emily didn't fight dirty. She just left. And she won. Rebecca got her promotion through whispers. And yes, for a moment, she won. But those same whispers eventually tore her down. Because that's what they do. They're fickle, unreliable, and they always find a new target. Emily left on her own terms, with her dignity intact and a better future ahead. That's the real victory. So here's my challenge. If you're in a toxic workplace right now, if you're being undermined, surrounded by whispers, ask yourself, is this where I want to build my legacy? If the answer's no, start planning your exit today. And if you've ever spread whispers, even unintentionally, stop. You never know whose career, mental health, or life you might be destroying. The office whispers will continue. They always do. But you get to choose whether you participate or rise above them. If this story resonated with you, smash that like button and subscribe. We've got plenty more stories from the corporate trenches. Drop a comment. Team Emily or Team Rebecca? What's your office whisper story? And remember, the next time you hear gossip at work, ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If it's none of those things, keep it to yourself. Protect your peace and your reputation. They're the only things in corporate America that are truly yours.